she was on like a patio or a porch thing.
Mhm.
I don't know how she got down from there on her
Nope.
bike to racing
She's
away.
all the way out in the field.
Yeah, out in the field on her bike. I'm
Yeah.
like, how the did that happen?
But it's not even a bike. Isn't
It's
it a tricycle?
It's a tricycle.
I was like, I've been on a tricycle. I've seen kids riding a tricycle. They don't go that fast, especially on uneven like terrain.
No. So she
So
would
I
have
was
had
like,
to
how the
like throw
fuck-
the tricycle over, jump down off
Yes.
the porch, then get back on
Yes.
it, and then go out in the field to where the critters are.
It don't make no sense.
Obviously, this guy got killed during this, so why would you throw your tricycle down and then go and maybe she wanted to go see if he was okay?
But I don't know.
It
This whole
was
thing.
dumb.
Lights, camera, and action. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? We're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Let's get ready to join Anna and Jimmy as they go back and watch those movies you remember being oh so awesomely good. Horror movies that scared. Comedy movies that dared. And action movies so preposterously ludicrous that they defied the laws of common sense. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
And welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. This is my pick, what I consider Easter. I don't think I'm going to like this movie. I picked, it's because it's a redemption movie and I had already bought it when I bought the first one. And then we watched Critters and I liked it much more than you did, but there was a lot of nostalgia there for me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the worst movie, but it wasn't
It wasn't what?
great movie. It wasn't the worst movie. It did have a couple spots that were kind of fun, but so my pick is Critters 2.
Uh-huh.
So I actually saw this in theaters, believe it or not. And I was trying to remember why. Why would I have seen this in a 1989 movie, 88 movie in theaters? I would have been really young. My brother would have been with me.
Yeah.
He would have been very young, but I believe it was at the drive-in. The movie after Critters 2 is what my father wanted to see. My mother and father wanted to see. So by default, we got to watch Critters 2. That was the only reason we got to watch this movie in the theater, drive-in. And you probably have not seen Critters 2.
I have not seen Critters 2. Because I had not seen Critters 1 before this podcast. And it was the surprise of my life. Critters, God bless. So yeah, I'm excited for Critters 2. I want to know if we're getting more of the same, if it's marginally better, if it's even worse.
Well, Critters 1, it really could be. But I remember really liking it. But I said that about the first one, so.
You said that about a lot of things.
I do say that. Like, I said that about a lot of movies. And most recently, like Red Sonja.
One Crazy Summer.
Red Sonja. Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
That one was that was insulting. That was insulting.
Well, Critters had a $2 million budget and went on to make $13 million, which was fantastic for 1986. You made a lot of extra money. Now, so of course, we're going to make a sequel. What do we think the budget on number 2 is going to be?
I think it's going to be probably 2.5, 3 million.
I said around the same too, about the same. It was $4 million.
Oh, okay. I knew they were going to up it. I didn't think they were going to double it.
And it did go to theaters. What do we think it made at the box office?
I think it made $565,000.
Did you what?
$565,000.
Oh, okay. It actually made $3.8 million.
Oh, it almost made its money back.
Almost made its money back, but nowhere near what the first Critters did. And then after that, they're like, you know what? people like it, but I think we're going to go straight to video from now on. And they did.
Yeah.
A couple more times.
Yeah.
Critters 2, the main course, 1988, came out in April 29th. After Easter. Why wouldn't you try to sell the Easter thing? And it opened in
Sometimes they just can't get it done in time.
7th place with almost $1.9 million. So it almost made all its money in the first weekend.
That's sad.
Yeah, and it was released in 1,114 theaters. So
okay,
it was behind Colors. Oh, that was such a good movie with Robert Duvall and Sean Penn.
Oh, yes. There we go.
Beetlejuice was in its 5th week at number 2. Casual Sex, that was with Victoria Jackson and the girl from Howard the Duck and
Leah Thompson.
That's it. Oh, one of our favorites, Above the Law, was in its 4th week.
Oh.
Biloxi Blues with
Matthew.
No, what is his name? Ferris Bueller? Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick.
Actually, I remember liking that movie. Sunset.
I remember liking it too.
This was its 1st week. I have no idea of this movie. Tom Mix and Wyatt Earp team up to solve a murder at the Academy Awards in 1929 Hollywood.
I
never heard of it.
That at all.
No. And then, but it was ahead of The Last Emperor, which was in its 24th week, and Moonstruck in its 20th week, and Return to Snowy River in its 3rd week. And then the next weekend, it dropped to 14th place. Then it was gone.
Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. Critters 2, the poster, if you're looking at it, it's just Critters 2, the main course, and it's a big ball of critters.
It's a big critter ball.
I like the first movie poster much better.
I believe you.
This one's not that great.
This poster is shit.
Yeah, it's not a great poster.
It is not good at all.
Here are some of the taglines for Critters 2. The main course. Get ready for seconds. They're back.
Oh, that one's not bad.
It's everyone turn for seconds.
And that one I don't really like.
They're back for seconds.
That's good.
Critters 1 got your blood pumping. This time they want more than a taste.
That is not a tagline.
The most illegal aliens are all back and they're hungrier than ever. No, the other ones were way better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to just say, I'm going to throw this out here and say Critters 2 was not favored by critics.
No, I'm going to say people did not enjoy it. The critics did not enjoy it. I think the people may have to a certain degree, but I feel like the critics were like, what is this garbage?
Well, if we go to IMDb, you'd be correct. Because 13 critics, it's got 31% and just over 10,000 viewers, popcorn meter at 37. So actually everyone's kind of in line here.
Everybody hates it. That's super nice.
What am I missing?
Great.
I guess my parents were right. That's why we weren't allowed to pick movies. Well, it has the same guy from it, Scott Grimes.
Yeah.
The dad.
Well, yeah.
The brother. And I believe the aliens are the same.
I can believe that.
There's not the mom and dad aren't there, the sister's not there, but I believe he goes somewhere else.
Probably an aunt or a grandparent.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll look for a good one here.
Okay, let me start with the very first one that's listed there from David Nusser from Real Film Reviews. A very mild improvement over its seriously lackluster predecessor, 2 out of 4.
Oh, that's good. Jason Shawun from Nashville Scene says the best Easter horror film is Mick Garris' Critters 2, the main course.
Mike Massey from Gone with the Twins says, amusingly, the Krite death scenes have grown more goopy and destructive, though the potential for greater showdowns and onslaughts is sadly unfulfilled. 4 out of 10.
If Critters was a sorry replay of Gremlins, then main course anticipates in many ways the barn-burning Gremlins 2. That's Eric Henderson from Slant Magazine. Sorry.
Nice. No. Don't be sorry. Matt Brenson from Film Frenzy. It isn't quite as adept at balancing the yucks and the yucks as the first film. 2 out of 4.
Chuck Rudolph from Matinee Magazine says, almost as good as the first film. Aw. It's alone worth seeing for the return of Terrence Mann as the funniest intergalactic bounty hunter in the history of cinema. 3 out of 5. That's it for me.
Alex Sandell from Juicy Cerebellum says, probably the worst of the Critter series, and that's saying something. 2 out of 5. Oh,
I remember not liking 3. Well, 3 was okay, and I remember not liking 4 back then.
We have a little something from Roger Ebert.
Oh,
the Chicago Sun-Times. It lacks all of the style and sense of fun of the original Critters and has no reason for existence, aside, of course, from the fact that Critters is a brand name and this is the current model. 1 out of 4.
Oh, no.
Yep. And that's it.
Well, IMDb has 18,000 user reviews coming in at 5.6. Not good.
No.
Could you people at IMDb like anything?
It's very true. They like a lot of really shitty movies.
Yeah. All right. I'll find 10 here. Is there any 10? Oh, there's a couple.
That's nice.
Oh, some people are saying it's better than the first. Oskinech 01, a worthy sequel. The main course rocks. TH Club, 10 out of 10.
Nice. There are exactly 2 9 out of 10 reviews, and here they are. When Critters bite, bite back. That's from Lord Zed. 3, 9 out of 10. And then the other one, so eloquent. Boom! White like cotton. 9 out of 10.
Well, this comes from Lucum, prisoner number 52760. Now that's how you make a sequel. 8 out of 10.
Oh. I'm going to say this one just because I think it's great. I don't even know why it would be great or applicable to this movie, but I like it. At the Hungry Heifer, we won't give you a bum steer. Hey, Sweden, 7 out of 10.
It's funny because now that I'm below, I'm now at 6. The numbers of reviews are getting higher.
Yeah. I noticed that too. I was like, oh, look at me having 7 or 9. That's fantastic.
Effectively continues the story, but it's not as good as the first movie. Woodchuck, 6 out of 10.
This one's great. Critters 2 is rife with plot holes, continuity problems, and other pitfalls of sequels, but it is still enjoyable as an expansion on the first film. Ionic Breeze Machine, 5 out of 10.
I don't know if this is out of the movie or just him. Agent 10 says, growing weak, can't breathe, getting nauseous. 4 out of 10.
Hungry little Krites are back to terrorize Grover's Bend and bore the viewers in the process. Hitchcock the Legend, 3 out of 10.
Shame on you. Gothic Goblin 1334, 2 out of 10.
Oh my God, there are no 1-star reviews.
Well, that's a plus.
That's a new and exciting experience.
Wow. That might bode well for us.
Because even the highest rated ones that we've had have had some 1 out of 10s.
Yeah.
Is it just the people were so disgusted with this movie that if they would have rated it, they would have been a 1 and they were like, I don't even want to bother.
That's quite possible.
There's a thought.
All right. Let's find this trailer. This is 50. Wow. This trailer's from 15 years ago.
Thanks. Why you got to say it like that?
A long time ago.
I know. Sometimes it terrifies me because I think something was like 15 years ago and people are like, no, that was 30 years ago. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm not old enough to have a 30 years ago. Spoiler alert, I really am.
Yeah, it makes me sad.
Grover's Bend. It's just a speck on the map of the universe.
Transform.
They get a different class of tourist here.
Company's coming.
Noisier. Pushier. They're turning this peaceful little town into dinner. Critters 2.
I can't hear you. Is anybody out there hear me?
We need a sheriff.
Go check the yellow pages.
Those hungry hairballs from outer space are on a roll.
Let's just get help. Oh, who are we gonna call? Critter Busters? These guys are great.
And they'll eat anything.
We're gonna end up tomorrow's leftovers.
There must be hundreds of them.
Critters 2, the main course.
You got nothing to lose but your lives.
Oh, that's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping for so terrible it's good.
Yeah, even
Like,
B movie late night
Yeah.
horror.
Like cheesy,
yeah.
over the top, melodramatic, like weird one-liners. I'm like, if there's enough of that and there's some magic sprinkled on top, then I'm fine with it being a shit, because it is a shit. Like, it looks like a shitty movie.
Yeah, good
Like,
actors
it
in it.
looks
There's
shitty. Yeah.
like I noticed I like the sheriff and the guy that was asking about the phones and
Yeah.
well, okay, it was directed by Mick Garris. I don't know did he write the first one? Did he direct the first one?
I feel like the answer was a no.
He wrote. Yeah, no, this has nothing to do with he wrote The Fly. Oh, he wrote The Fly too. Not The Fly. Fuck. I'm just trying to see. Well, he directed Amazing Stories, Critters 2, Freddy's Nightmare, Psycho 4, Sleepwalkers, the cat one, the TV miniseries, The Shining, Host. I don't think it has a lot to do with the first people.
I mean, I can kind of see that if the executives were like, oh, the last one ended up so shitty.
Yeah.
Let's get a whole new group of people in to do it. Okay.
The guy who helped write it wrote The Fugitive with Harrison Ford, Pitch Black with, what's his name there? And Riddick and G.I. Jane. He directed The Chronicles of Riddick. He directed Pitch Black.
Okay. Okay.
It
could work.
It could. Maybe. Well, we're going to go watch Critters 2. And when we come back, we are going to review it.
You heard them. Movie time. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a treat, and then watch a classic kick-ass movie from whenever the one we're about to watch was made.
And welcome back. Did you watch 1988's Critters 2, the main course?
I did. Yeah.
Me too. Jimmy strikes again.
Why do you do this to us? Why?
For making me watch Steel Magnolias. All right. What's your initial thoughts on Critters 2? Did you? Okay. I will, because this is in my review, I will say that because after watching Critters 1, I went into Critters 2 having a much better idea of how this movie was going to play out.
Look, I never thought this movie was going to be good. Okay? I never thought it was going to be good. I didn't expect it to be this bad. Like, it's almost the absence of a movie. That's where I'm hitting a wall with it. Because I'm like, okay, the kid comes back to town.
Visit Nana.
He pretends, what?
To visit Nana.
To visit Nana, who's fucking nuts. and making him eat carob cake.
Carob chocolate or whatever the fuck she was doing.
Carob is a substitute for a chocolate that was very, very big in like the 80s and the 90s
and it
when
tasted
everybody's like
nothing like chocolate.
Tasted nothing like chocolate.
So gross.
But I was like, okay, fine. I've got all the feels. But this I was just like, and then all of a sudden, and then there's the aliens, and then Charlie shows up and he's all like, you're not going to leave me, right? And then I'm like, there's no actual, then they fight the critters who look terrible. These critters look terrible. There is nothing menacing about this movie. There is nothing anxiety inducing about this movie. There's no tension. There's no suspense. It's not thrilling at all, ever. Even when they're eating somebody, it's not actually upsetting. You're just like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden it's done. And you're just like, well, that was easy. And why did I watch that?
Yeah, the makers of this film said, fuck it.
100%.
We're not going to worry about story or nothing. We're just going to see if you know what's going on and jump right into
We're not actually going to give any like good dialogue. We're not going to make any. We're going to give you like kernels of a story and then leave them.
Yeah.
We're not going to develop any of them.
There were titties in it though. I forgot all about that.
Can I tell you, as soon as I saw that Playboy magazine, I was like, Jimmy's going to be happy.
Yeah.
He's got some titties.
I did like
good
the
for
gag.
Him.
The gag with
the staple?
The staple in it. That was pretty good. I did like that.
Okay. I wasn't terribly mad about that. I was like, oh yeah, staple, whatever. But then we also never examine why he has to change his face every time he sees a face, but not every time he sees a face, just when he sees inanimate faces. Like, what? It was all just very, I was like, oh, none of this makes sense. None of it makes sense.
Complicated.
There was nothing complicated about any of them. Confusing, yes. Not complicated.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's not a great movie.
Yeah, no. I was bored through a lot of
I
it.
will say it does jump into the action much quicker.
Yes, I will give you that.
It's a lot gorier on a very cartoonish level.
I will also give you that.
Yeah, but the critters weren't as funny, I found, as the first one. The first one, because remember the one trying to talk to the ET doll?
Yeah.
The one they were talking to. These ones seem to pick up the English language very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it was one of those things where if you were to do Critters and Critters 2 today, you could probably make a very cool and a very funny movie. Yeah.
I'm not opposed to Critters in general. Like the concept of the critters. I'm not opposed to the concept of this movie. What I'm opposed to is how they made this movie.
Yeah, because the lighting and the makeup was off sometimes, where like the sheriff had very rosy cheeks, and you could tell there was a layer of makeup.
Yeah,
I didn't hate the movie.
I was just like,
but again, nostalgia. You gotta remember, I watched this a lot as a kid, so nostalgia really helped me get past the finish line of this movie. Because not just on paper, in presentation, this is not a very good movie. It is no. All right, so let's jump into Critters 2. Okay. Out in space on a desolate planet, the shape-shifting and I don't understand. Okay, so sorry. I don't understand how the budget is like double or 3 times the amount as the first one, yet all the special effects look worse in this movie. Like in the first movie, I will say, for what the budget had and the time period it came out of, the effects like the spaceship and the bounty hunters, it looked okay. Like it looked pretty good.
It did.
For the time period. This time around, they had a lot more money, but like that one where Ugg turns into Charlie, and Charlie, they're looking at each other, and then they do that special effect where they look at each other in the same screen. Looks so bad.
So terrible.
I like you. They did it just so they could show they could do it.
To be honest, I think they spent all the money on the explosion of the factory.
Yeah, that was good.
And all the explosions from like the guns and the flames and the whatever. I think that's where they spent all their money.
But it's in my actual review where you actually see the hand, like people holding the puppet, like the critters on the person's hand, and they're attacking the person. Like you can tell it's a puppet being held by the person getting attacked. I saw wires pulling.
Yeah, no, this is terrible. Straight terrible. There's nothing else to say about it. It's terrible.
All right. Out in space on a desolate planet, the shape-shifting bounty hunters Ugg and Lee and their human companion, Charlie McFadden, search for a vicious worm-like creature. After killing the beast, they depart the planet. Soon afterwards, they receive a new assignment by head of the High Council. He tells them that the Krites have been detected on Earth and must be destroyed at once. With that, they set a course for Earth. But Ugg notices Charlie's brooding and he inquires what is wrong. Charlie states that his reluctance to go back to Earth after 2 years and asks whether they will leave him there. Ugg assures him they have no such intentions. Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Back on Earth, Brad Brown, now 15. Okay, let's talk about Wesley and that old guy that has the shittiest store I have ever seen. And they find the critter eggs. And he sells them for a case of beer.
Yeah.
So I get that the eggs were left behind. No one found them. Although if you were selling the house, you probably would have cleaned up the barn and found these eggs. Whatever. And they hatch when they get heated, even though it's been 2 years. And the heat from the summer, especially being down south, didn't hatch these eggs. Whatever. So this guy buys them off the guy for a case of beer, but then the beer that he had, the Wesley didn't like, so he took 2 cases and a Playboy magazine.
Yeah.
Back on Earth, Brad Brown, now he's only 15 in this movie?
Yeah. Remember he was like 12 or 13?
Oh, yeah.
In the first one?
Which is another thing, because I'm like older.
For real.
She's
she's
senior.
Only supposed to be a year. Yeah, she's a senior.
Aren't you 18 when you're a senior? 17, 18 when you're
17.
17.
Usually 17.
Oh, that pedo.
A little bit. I'm
weird.
like, this is super weird and uncomfortable, but that's fine.
Yeah, because he's a lot shorter too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he hasn't fully grown yet.
No, mind you, this is terrible to say, but he doesn't grow that much.
No, he doesn't get much taller.
He doesn't get super tall.
No.
In life.
Even as the dad in that TV series Ted, he's not obviously not a very tall man. Or in the Orville, he plays the...
Yeah, he's not like super tall.
No.
We're just going to say he's not.
But even still, him being 15 and super short looks weird to the senior who's super tall.
Yeah, it's a little awkward. We'll say that. It's a little awkward.
Because when they have the kissing scene, they're pretty matched in height. But when they're running around, there's like a few inches.
There's an obvious difference.
Yeah.
She almost looks like the babysitter.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah.
It feels really uncomfortable sometimes.
Now it got really hot.
When they were leaning in for the kiss, I was like, "Eee, don't do that."
You porno music. Bow, 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 bow. All right.
Wow.
That's it. Okay, so Brad, now 15, is visiting his grandmother in Grover's Bend in Kansas. Word gets around the town fast, implying he became well known after the events of the first film. Meanwhile, a man named Mr. Quigley sells strange eggs to Brad's grandmother for Easter celebration. However, unbeknownst to them, the eggs are actually Krite eggs. Shortly after selling the eggs, Mr. Quigley leaves the rest of the Krite eggs next to a furnace, actually it's a little heater, which causes them to start to hatch. The next day, when Mr. Quigley comes back to his shed, he finds the eggs in pieces and his dog dead. Yeah, that pit bull. Poor pit bull got eaten.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
The newly hatched baby critters then appear to attack Quigley and kill him. Yeah, he jumps on that little stool and they start biting the stool and he falls down and they get him.
Valid, but I already had a problem with, I was like, oh, the eggs have been there for 2 years.
Yeah.
Weird. And then I was like, what? And then they start warming up. And I'm like, are you telling me a summer hasn't happened?
Yeah. Doesn't it gets get warm in Louisiana?
It doesn't get warm enough. It doesn't get warm enough, like in a barn where these eggs are surrounded by hay. What? And so it was I was already very like, really? And after 2 years, I feel like something's off about this, but I'm like, fine, whatever, it's fine. We'll just wait for it to like hash out. And then they come out hungry and I'm like, okay, valid. I'd be hungry too.
Later, one of the Krite eggs bought by Brad's grandmother hatches and the critter inside attempts to bite a young girl. However, it is soon stepped on. This was off a little bit too, because I like that part where it's going around and her feet are dangling off the bed and it's running over to try to bite it. But then when the dad steps on it, because there should have been like a little bit of hair stuff there. It's just that green goo.
It's just goo. And also, look, every time you step on something weird in your house, out of your house, you sense it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's in your house by your daughter's bed, you step and you hear a crack.
Yeah.
I would be at that point like, hey, what was that?
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
He doesn't even look. He's like,
"Ah."
keep it moving. It's fine.
After this, the town celebrates Easter in the church, where the Krite eggs are put into the garden for the kids to hunt for. The eggs begin to hatch, and the infant critters then attack the town sheriff dressed as an Easter bunny. This part was funny. I like how they just
that was kind of funny. Yeah,
jumped in the bunny costume.
They jumped in the bunny costume.
He couldn't get it done up right.
Okay, that one I wasn't that mad about. I was mad about the aftermath of his death because the blood looked so shitty.
Oh yeah,
it was like it just looks like water with food coloring.
No one is aware that it was the critters who attacked him, as his death is attributed to a farming accident. How the fuck?
Apparently, while he was dressed,
a stretch.
Yeah, while he was dressed as the Easter bunny, I don't know. I guess he decided to run a tractor.
Yeah.
And
then get in the accident, get off the tractor, and then run and jump through the window of the church.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Which they got fixed real quick.
So quick.
Because it was not just that later that night, the whole town's there taking refuge in that church.
Yep.
Okay. Soon the bounty hunters land, and Lee sees a magazine with a gorgeous busty centerfold model, Roxanne Kernoran. She died at 32.
Really?
In the early 90s. Yeah, car accident. Because she's been she's in a lot of B movies where her boobies need to be shown. And hey, they're great boobs.
Canadian.
She was
Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Was past tense. Not is, was. She dead.
In this movie, she is.
Yes, okay,
She's still alive for us right now.
Soon the bounty hunters land, and Lee Busty, and takes on her visage. Meanwhile, Brad and his friend Megan are driving down the road when they encounter a woman who tells them that something is wrong inside Quigley's shed. They go into the shed, and Brad knocks on the door. When there is no answer, he attempts to get back into the car, but the door slams open with Mr. Quigley's mutilated. This is just the beginning of the movie, and I've only got another paragraph and a bit to go, and I'm done.
That's because there's no story other than they run.
Because we're only like 20 minutes into the film. Falls on him. Full-grown critters then begin to attack the car. However, Megan, Brad, and the woman escape, and the critters then advance toward the town. Eventually, the critters make themselves known when they begin terrorizing the town, growing in large numbers. Lee is killed and devoured by the critters when they... Okay, so, wow. This just skipped right to the end. We also get the sheriff from the first movie.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want anything to do with Brad. Then Brad and Megan go out to see him and say there are critters. And they're like, what are you doing? He's like, the fuck do you think I'm doing? I'm hauling ass. I'm getting out of here.
Well, because he doesn't explicitly say it, but it's very much heavily implied that the reason why he got voted out by a landslide was because he was like, hey, aliens.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everybody's like, fuck
Brad.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brad's like, there were no aliens.
We're not voting you for sheriff again, you lunatic.
Exactly. So he's like, nah, fuck it. They didn't believe me back in the day. I'm not doing this now. Bye. And I can appreciate that.
But he does come back.
He does come back dressed as the sheriff. I'm
dressed
like, you
as
kept
the
your
sheriff,
uniform?
kept his uniform and badge.
Yeah.
And guns. They don't ask that stuff back when you're not the sheriff anymore.
I feel like you should probably turn in your badge.
Yeah. At least your badge.
Right? Like, I feel like that's
but he's got it all, a new set of makeup on. He's ready to go. And I do like that actor. The
I
actor
like him
that
too.
played the sheriff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in so many things and he is great. Okay, so yeah. So Lee is killed and devoured. Also, the bounty hunters come back. They're hunting the critters. He changes to the Hungry Heifer manager, that nerdy guy from the 80s that was in a bunch of stuff. And then he's at a video store and he sees Freddy Krueger and he's about to change into Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And Charlie holds up the Playboy magazine. He turns back to the hot chick.
I think they were going for laughs with that.
Yeah. I thought
But
it would have been better if he turned into Freddy Krueger.
Honestly, it would have been funnier 100%.
Yeah, you could really have a lot of fun with this movie.
They could have. I don't think they really thought it through, though. I'm going to be really honest. I don't think they thought any of this through. Because they were like, yeah, that'll be a funny running gag. But then I'm sitting there going, but why does he need to keep changing? Like, why is that happening?
Yeah.
Because the other guy doesn't need to keep changing.
No, he likes his guy.
Yeah. Why does this one keep wanting to change? Like, is it a want? Is it a need? Like, what's the deal?
And for bounty hunters who show absolutely no emotion in the first movie and this movie, when Lee dies, Ugg is very upset and he slips into a deep depression.
So upset.
And resorts to his alien form.
Yeah.
And becomes useless. For a bit.
I'm like, but why?
Yeah. Like, you're a bounty hunter. You should be a little tougher than this.
Yeah. Tell me something.
You'd think it would be the opposite, where he would go the opposite way and get very angry and start hunting them even harder.
Yeah.
But he becomes a
there are
big
a lot
old
of
baby.
inconsistencies with characters in this, where you're just like if I have to keep asking, but why, instead of just being like, oh, makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a problem.
Yeah. And this movie gets stupider. It's coming.
Yeah.
Up. The remaining people of the town devise a plan. Now they're all hanging at the church. And there was that scene where the little girl, Megan's little sister, who almost got bit with a critter under her bed. She's on a bike. I don't know where she got the bike in the church, but she got a bike and she's going around the church and she opens the door and the guys get back in there and he hears something. And then a critter gets him and then you hear screaming. Yeah. And she was on like a patio or a porch thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know how she got down from there on her bike to racing away.
She's all the way out in the field.
Yeah, out in the field on her bike. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen?
But it's not even a bike. Isn't it a tricycle?
It's a tricycle.
I was like, I've been on a tricycle. I've seen kids riding a tricycle. They don't go that fast, especially on uneven terrain.
No. So she would have had to throw the tricycle over, jump down off the porch, then get back on it, and then go out in the field to where the critters are.
It don't make no sense.
Obviously, this guy got killed during this, so why would you throw your tricycle down and then go and maybe she wanted to go see if he was okay?
But I don't know. This whole thing.
Is dumb.
I was like, well, I know they have to put or they were trying to put a little bit of suspense in there so that, you're invested, whatever. Like, I get why it happens. Excuse me. But I'm like, this is not the movie for that.
No, but have her going out to see if the guy was okay and have her going, uh-oh, that's a critter, and then going back, and there's one behind her. That forces her to run out to the field because it's already behind her.
Give me something that makes a little more sense.
It out. It's not that fucking hard. The remaining people of the town devise a plan, and this is where it gets really dumb. With Ugg polymorphed into a large crate. Okay, so they have this plan. They are going to put a bunch of beef out at this beef factory, this hamburger factory, and get all the critters to go in here and then blow it up. And they have fucking dynamite and fucking on hand. I don't know why they have that much dynamite on hand, but whatever.
Nobody's asking those questions.
No, it's right beside the Blockbuster. So
100%, because that's where you keep your dynamite.
The dynamite store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right next to Blockbuster.
Yeah. The 5 and dime, the Piggly Wiggly. My wife found a house in, was it Louisiana? Anyways, but there were Piggly Wigglies there. And I was like, if it has a Piggly Wiggly there, we can move there.
I've been to the Piggly
If
Wiggly.
I have to grocery shop at the Piggly Wiggly, I'm fine wherever we are.
Because my brother-in-law lives in North Carolina, and we went down once, and I was like, okay, I wanted to go to the Piggly Wiggly so bad, but we didn't go that trip. And I was like, he brought me back a T-shirt at some point, and I was like, yeah, Piggly. But then the next time we went down, I think we were in Virginia. I was like, I need to go to a Piggly. Like, we went somewhere and there was a Piggly Wiggly, and I was like, we need to go.
Yeah, you have to go to
We need to go to the Piggly Wiggly. And everybody's, whoa. And I'm like, I need to go.
Was it
So I've been
everything
to
you
the
hoped
Piggly
for?
Wiggly. It was. It really was.
Well, we've got 500 of them across the United States, but not every. They're only in, I think, 14 states.
It's not everywhere.
No.
Very much like Waffle House.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite places to go because their waffles are actually phenomenal.
Yeah, the amount
so
of
good.
Yeah, the amount of different stuff you can get at the Waffle House, waffle related, is
yes.
stupendous.
And also the staff is always the best entertainment.
Yeah.
They have given up on life and everything with it, and they're just saying what's on their minds, and it's amazing. And it's all open kitchen, like all open area. So you see and hear everything, and it's the most wonderful thing in the world.
So they had this plan for the burger factory and attempt to blow them up. And because this is what I don't understand. I get why they did that, and they put fans out to try to get them to smell this. Yeah. And because even the wind is, do you notice how what is that called? The wind chime? The wind?
Yeah, wind chimes.
Is it? Okay.
Is it, or the?
No, it had the rooster on it and the arrow.
Oh, that's a weather vane.
Weather vane. And because even when the weather vane they were showing you, but when you looked around the weather vane, the wind was blowing in the complete opposite direction.
Correct.
But anyways, you can forgive this. What I can't forgive
yeah, hit me.
is why half the town felt the need to fucking follow 1,000 critters. What was the fucking point of that? I get the point at the end, what they wanted it for.
Yes.
But why would half the town follow them? You're not going to stop them if they go back the other way. They're going to eat you.
You need to actually have a plan put in place. Have everybody who's following them holding a torch with fire, or people with guns. Like everybody, not just, or people holding flashlights or floodlights or whatever. Like they have to have a purpose if they're going to follow along.
But that's what I mean. They had no purpose. You can't.
They had no purpose, so it
you
makes
gotta be quiet. Sense. You can't. Don't. Don't.
But that's the thing. I was like, "Where's everybody going?"
Yeah. Why are you Why
is everybody going?
People following these fucking monsters.
It made no fucking sense.
None.
So I had a problem with that because I was like, "Where are you going? What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Is this a group project? Like we're all just gonna watch everybody present the explosion? What the fuck?
They're not dogs. You can't just point and tell them to go somewhere if they change their mind.
If they turn around and start trying to eat you, what are you going to do?
Well, the wind changes, and one of the critters says live meat. Because 150 people are fucking following them. And then the big critter says, wait, no, cheeseburgers, no bones. Let's go eat that. And they're like, oh, okay. And they really grasp the language very quickly.
When I heard the no bones, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? These motherfuckers are that lazy? They don't want to eat around a bone? Really?
And it turns out Ugg is the big critter, and he lured them in. But the plan fails, and the critters emerge, join into a large, giant critter ball, and begin heading to the church. And this is where they roll over the one guy, and the ball eats him as it rolls over him, and he's just a gooey bone mess. That was the reason to fall, so they could have that one shot of the one guy getting run over.
Yeah.
And then
the body that was left behind was fantastic.
That was funny. Yeah, I did like that part.
Yeah, I like that part. Everything else, I was just like, really, guys?
Yeah.
Really?
And then Brad and his babysitter get in the truck, and they follow they're trying to head it up. They're trying to ram it and hit it.
Yeah.
So the large ball begin heading to the church. Just before they reach it, Charlie, who ran away, you'd think being a coward, actually went and got the spaceship and drives the thing right into them.
Yes, and they all think he's dead.
And Ugg takes on his face in honor of his bravery.
Yes.
The next day, as Brad departs, it is revealed that Charlie survived by using a parachute. Okay, this was the next day. How fucking long did it take Charlie to jump out of the fucking spaceship and make its way back into town?
How far
he
away
wouldn't have been that
was he?
far away.
Yeah, like he like to walk for a day, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That didn't make sense at all. So he
so much of this
stays
movie
on
didn't make
Earth.
sense.
We don't know why.
Yes.
But he becomes sheriff of Grover's Bend just because the sheriff who wasn't a sheriff gave him his not a sheriff badge. So I guess he just automatically becomes sheriff.
Apparently. Who knew? This entire thing.
He stays on Earth. 15-year-old Brad finally kisses his 18-year-old babysitter, which is weird. Ugg departs in a new spacecraft, still wearing the guise of Charlie.
Yes.
And that is our movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your score?
Skip it. Look, first Critters was terrible. It was absolutely terrible, but at least it was mildly entertaining. Perplexing, but mildly entertaining. This movie, I spent so much of it going, why did you make this? Why did you make this? Why did you make this? There was no character growth. There was no, as I said, no tension, no anxiety, no suspense. This was not a thriller. You were never worried for anybody's real safety. Like, you knew if a critter got close enough, I'm like, oh, well, it's either going to be one bite or they're going to eat down to the bone. There was no, also, how do you be afraid of critters who are just really shitty animatronics and puppets? Like, it was just, and nobody ever had, like, even when shit got real. What's his name? Played by Brad. Brad was his name. Brad wasn't worried. Brad didn't look concerned. No, there was nothing. They tell the sheriff, the former sheriff, hey, they're back. He's like, peace out. He didn't look worried. He didn't look scared. He didn't look apprehensive. Nothing. Just gone. Bye. Everybody else in town is still losing their mind. There's that random old guy who's like, no, this is not what it is. And this movie made me mad because I was bored through most of it. And it feels, okay, so when the producer of children's television, and when I say children's television, I really mean 6 to 8 year olds. If that guy made a horror movie, that's what this movie would be. That's Critters 2. And it was not good. There was no character development. I didn't even like, is her name Megan? Megan and Brad?
Yeah.
The 15 and the 8-year-old? Yes. I didn't even like them together because there was no chemistry.
No, and it seemed off.
Did your mic get unplugged?
Is it on?
I think your camera's picking up your thing, not your mic.
Yeah, it is. Why? There we go.
There we go. Thank you.
There we go.
So the thing that I had the biggest issue with, I was just like, I don't believe any of these people. A lot of the characters are doing stuff that seem out of character. There was never, like, whenever they would do something, I was never like, yeah, makes sense. That's exactly what they would do. Because they were never really established as characters. So all of it was just a lot of why? Why are they doing that? That makes no sense. What? So yeah, this was a shitty movie. I will give it a 3. Because Carob Cake and Scott Grimes, I don't blame him. I do not blame him for this. And there are some actors in this movie that I enjoy, but I did not enjoy this movie at all. Not even a little bit. Okay, go ahead. What's your score?
Okay, if you remember liking Critters 2, you might still enjoy it. Because once again, this movie is not good. But this time I came in prepared. I had already survived the first one. I knew exactly what I was signing up for. This is late night Saturday B movie from the 80s that runs after midnight that you would catch on TV. And you're like, eh. And that helped a lot. Because when you adjust your expectations accordingly, it becomes more enjoyable. I'm not saying I overly enjoyed this movie. The pacing is quick this time around. It gets to things a lot quicker. I'll give the movie that. There's a lot less screaming in this than the first one, where the mom just seemed to scream from 30 minutes in right to the ending. The screaming is a lot less annoying in this movie. The movie leans way harder into the comedy, or tries to lean harder into the comedy, into that Tremors style. Not Tremors 1, which I remember liking, but Tremors 5 and 6. A lot more, they tried to land a lot more one-liners. The tone is lighter. There's a lot less screaming, which is a huge win. The acting is still not good. It's actually, it's worse. But it feels almost intentional. But I'm not sure if that's what they were going for. This sequel wastes no time in getting going. It assumes you liked the first movie or at least tolerated it and just throws you straight back into critter chaos. There's more gore, more deaths, but it's all done in a weirdly cartoonish way. So instead of being shocking, it's kind of silly. In these puppets are committing murder kind of way. And yes, this movie has everything. We've got Playboy magazine nudity. We've got a bounty hunter bonding with the magazine. We've got critters that you can clearly tell are being operated by someone's entire arm shoved up its ass. And if you look closely, you catch the wires of the giant rolling critter balls. And it's like a high school theater production. Character decisions are absolutely unhinged. Wesley piecing out and basically saying fuck everybody while he's saving himself makes perfect sense. But then half the town decides to follow the critters to the meat processing plant like it's a field trip to death. I didn't get a lot of this movie, a lot of the character decisions. And of course, it's just an excuse to set up the grand finale, all you can eat buffet for the giant critter ball. You'll notice all of this and you'll question all of this, and somehow you're forced to sit through all of this and go, could be worse. I could be watching Steel Magnolias again.
Oh my God.
And then you'll be going, it's not bad. Mostly because you're trying to justify the fact that you just spent $9.99 on Apple TV for it. And now you
Oh my God, you bought it?
And it's forever mine. Unless society collapses and the internet goes away and we have to bring back blockbusters, in which case I'll forget, like I always do, of how bad a movie is, and I'll pick this up from the bargain bin, cursing myself yet again. At the end of the day, I enjoyed watching Critters 2, not because it was a good movie, because it was stupid. There was nostalgia there. I enjoyed a couple parts. I liked the boobies. I questioned almost every character decision except for Wesley. Wesley seemed to be the only character that made any sense. I did like the part where she was going, oh my God, are you okay? And she was talking to Brad, but it was Wesley. He goes, just catch up. Yeah. But it was a close call. But it's a bad movie. And my score is, I would say, if you have to, stream it. This is a very nostalgic stream. You might be disappointed if you spend money. Like I did.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, because it's not like I can see maybe down the road watching number 1 and 2 on a weekend or something just because I forgot. Or I'm like, was it as bad as I remember? And then you watch the first one, you're like, might as well watch the fucking second one. But it's not a yearly tradition. It's not it's not. Yeah, my IMDb is a 5. It's like, it had nostalgia again did a lot of heavy lifting here, and it did have a couple things that were amusing, but yeah, it's not a great movie.
No. God bless. God bless.
Jimmy,
that's it. God bless.
Jimmy strikes again.
It's okay. It's not your fault.
Man. All right. Anything you want to add to Critters 2, the main course?
No, I'm good.
So we have Skip It. Well, no, there's like 4 more Critters movie and a TV show.
You need to calm down.
A short-lived TV show. I remember 3 and 4 being worse than number 1 and 2 back then. So I might give Critters a rest.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This was not the movie I thought this was not the redeeming movie I thought it was going to be. So we have a skip it, a nostalgia stream it, a 3, and a 5. All right. Well, thanks for coming back to 1988 and going over Critters 2, the main course with us. And until the next movie we remember liking.
Congratulations. You just had one of your childhood movie memories vindicated. Or they just eviscerated it. I don't know. This is a generic one-size-fits-all type of ending to the podcast. So thank you for listening, and please join Anna and Jimmy next time for another episode of the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. If you dare to go back and watch that movie you remember liking.